Good morning, everybody. Welcome to David's Truck. My name is Becky, and I am so excited that you're here today. David and I are going on a little road trip today. Every now and then, we'll get up on a Saturday morning and we'll do a little bit of driving and go to some antique stores. Today, we are going to Jacksonville, North Carolina, and then we're going to slip over to New Bern, North Carolina. There's two in Jacksonville and maybe 3 in New Bern, if I'm not terribly wrong. Sorry about the bouncing. I can't help that. David does not want to be filmed, so we're not going to bother him, but he is over here. He's navigating for us. So the first place we're going to go to, I believe, is Antique to Chic in Jacksonville. And then there's what's the name of that place? The begins with an F. Hold on a second. It's called the Foundry, and it's a really big antique store also. So those are the two that we typically go to when we go to Jacksonville. They also have the best Mexican food we've ever had. So I don't know if that's what we're going to do for lunch or not, but we really enjoy the Mexican food in Jacksonville. So we're going to take you along for the ride, and I'll show you what I see. If I find something really cool, I'll share it with you. All right, we made it to Jacksonville, and this is our first stop, Antique to Chic Vendor Market. One of my subscribers has a booth here. I need to look that up and find out which booth is hers, but we're gonna go in here and see what they have. All right, so right in the door, right off the bat, I come in and I immediately spot this absolutely beautiful plate. It was only $12, so pretty, but I don't really use blue in my home. But actually, you know what? That's not true. I have a whole craft room that's blue. So I don't know why I say that, because my craft room is just as blue can be. But it was the original color from when Summer lived at home, and I've just never painted it. I do need to come in here and I need to paint these walls, because it is the only colored wall that I have left in my home. Everything else is a neutral, either beige or white. So it's on my list of things to do and future videos that I'd like to make is to come in here and redo this craft room. This booth that I'm in right now had some of the best prices. I had probably 4 or 5 things here picked out that I wanted. It was actually one of the first booths that I came to, so I didn't start picking things up. I told David, I said, just remember this booth, we'll come back later and then I'll get all these things that I want. And I did come back later, but I did not buy all the things that I had originally picked out. I really love this creamer and sugar set, and it was so inexpensive. I think that's why I liked this booth so much, because she didn't mark her stuff too high. It was all reasonable, and the things that she had were very much my style. I love this brown glass. I don't even know what color. It's kind of amber looking, but such pretty pieces in here with very, very reasonable prices. But I did come back later, and I did get one thing out of this booth, which is, I guess, a good thing, because I don't need to keep buying stuff. But I had about 5 things picked out, including these glasses. I really like those little juice glasses, and I completely forgot about them. And I've been really into looking at jewelry lately. There's lots of fun projects that you can do with it. I have only been taking it and putting it on my refrigerator for my magnet gallery, but there's a lot of fun projects that you can do with vintage jewelry. This booth was pretty cool. There was a lot of booths in Chic. Let me make sure I say this right. Antique to Chic. There was a lot of vintage booths in here with mid-century pieces and in mid-century style, which is so hard to find. Usually when you go into an antique store, there's maybe one booth out of the whole antique store that is the mid-century pieces. Everything else is more like, I guess, true antiques, or more of the, what is the word I'm looking for? A little more rustic look, which is great, and I love all that. it's just not the things that I'm looking for. These crewel pictures were absolutely so cute. I told David, I said, those would be so cute in a little girl's room. I wish that the glare wasn't so bad so you could see really well and see what I was seeing. But look at her little patchwork skirt she had on, and then the patchwork quilt on the bed. She's on her knees saying her prayers, and then that little Raggedy Ann doll that she was holding. This was so cute. I mean, somebody worked really hard on those, and they only wanted $30 for them. So if I had a granddaughter and a room for her, I would have probably picked those up. Now this dress, oh my goodness, this dress. If I could have only squeezed myself into this dress, I would have paid whatever they were asking for. The size had like a question mark beside it. David was kind of helping me hold it up so I could see it, and we held it up to me, but it did not go from side to side, and I knew it would not fit me. But my goodness, that dress was so beautiful. I had lost a little bit of weight this time last year, and I've slowly started putting it back on. I go up and down with my weight, but if I would have been just a couple size smaller, you can bet your bottom dollar I would have gotten that dress, and I would have worn it proudly. These little mugs were only $5 for both, I believe. I thought that was a really good price. And there's this really sweet cross-stitch pattern that I wanted to show you. Look at the little patchwork quilt. I thought that was really sweet. I like these mugs. They had a good price on these mugs, and I almost went back and got them, but I have the exact same mugs, except mine have a yellow flower, so I really didn't think that I needed both sets. But it's really rare that I find a set of 6 at a good price. Usually I can find a set of 4 of something, but I don't always find a set of 6. So somebody that got those cups got a really good deal. And if I remember correctly, the cups that I have with the yellow flower came from this same antique store a couple years ago, maybe a year ago. So lots of glasses, lots of pretty glasses to look at. This cabinet was really pretty. I wanted to share that. And there's a cool table and chair set also that would have looked good in a mid-century house. This was, I think I mentioned it after I leave, but this was their 5th anniversary. So they had a live musician in here playing. So you can't hear it right now because I'm obviously talking, but the musician was very, very close to where we were shopping at this point, and he sounded really good. They really went all out on their 5-year anniversary party. They had free hot dogs, and they had a giveaway. It was really neat, and they had a lot of people in there. I thought he was cute. I just liked his little face. I told David, I have these dishes. I bought them from Facebook Marketplace, but I told David, I said, can you imagine how excited I would have been to come in here and see these plates? And I would have definitely bought them if I didn't already have that pattern. I would have been so excited to find that. These little salt and pepper shakers were really sweet, but they were $30. That's more than what I typically pay for salt and peppers. And I just thought this cake topper was sweet. If I were to do like a vow renewal or something, I would definitely use a vintage cake topper. I think they're so sweet. Love these candlesticks. I saw the crazy lamp lady found some the other day on her video. She resells all her stuff. I kind of looked on her page to see if maybe they were for sale and how much she wanted for them, but I gave up because usually her stuff goes at a high price because she's more well known. This was another cute dress, but it was not as cute as the other one. But there was a lot of vintage clothing in here. They did really well in this booth. This was really pretty. Never seen anything like this before. This whole booth was set up with a couch and a chair and coffee table, and it was just a cool booth. You could tell that they were very much into the mid-century style, and I loved it. I'm here for it, people. I'm here for it. And of course, I think I cut it out, but of course, I found another naked lady picture. It's on the wall above that chair, so I think I cut it out because we've seen enough naked ladies on my channel to last us a lifetime. I love this purse. It's really pretty. I think it was only like $30. Yeah, $30. Just a cute little purse. And I think I already have these plates, which is why I didn't get them. And also with the fact that there was only two for I think right around $20. This was a great booth. This is where I found one of the pieces that I actually bought, and I'm going to share it with you at the end of the video. I'll show you my haul, but I bought something really cool in here for a Christmas gift for my sister-in-law, but they had lots of cool things in here, and I don't think that their prices were that high. I think they were pretty reasonable. They had some more stoneware plates. These were $39 for that whole stack. But I didn't get those because they have more blue in them, and I don't use blue in the house. This cookie jar was really cute with the gingerbread man, and what else did we see? I wonder if those candlesticks came. There's the guy that was singing for us. I wonder if those are the candlesticks that came from Hobby Lobby. They kind of look like them, but I'm not 100% sure. They had some really cute things in this booth. This paper, I don't know what they would have used these for, but these were made out of paper. They were just kind of neat. Tell me if you know what those were for, because I have no idea. And I love this TV console. Those little doors slid, so it's a record player and a TV. So that really took me back. You can't tell from the picture, but those lamps were enormous. They were sitting up on that little table were as tall as I am. There's some pretty owls I had to share with you. $24.99 for both of them. They look like maybe old home interiors. And this little mushroom casserole dish was really sweet. We're getting towards the front of the store now, if I'm not too awful wrong. This picture was hand painted, and it was original, and it was glorious. If you decorate with pink in your home, that would have been such a cute piece to add. I was showing David this. It's like, that would be like a lingerie for men here, a velour wrap. Okay, so I spent quite a bit of time showing you this booth because I want to tell you about it. So all over TikTok, all over Instagram, the younger generation is bringing back the style of decor that you're looking at. They're bringing back the blue bow geese. They're bringing back the wooden shelves with the hearts cut in them. They're bringing it back. They're going to the thrift stores. They're finding them. The excitement in their voices, in their hearts, in their eyes is so much fun to watch. I am having so much fun watching these kids go to the thrift store, find these pieces. They're keeping them alive. They're keeping them going, and I am here for it. I love it. It brings me so much joy to see these girls and guys appreciate this style, because these are the pieces from my childhood. These are the pieces that I remember. And I was telling David, this is probably how you guys feel watching my channel, because a majority of you, a lot of you tell me, okay, I remember these pieces that you're picking up from the 70s. Those were the pieces from when I first got married, and I love seeing you find these pieces and get so excited about them. But here's the thing, you don't want to decorate your home with them because you've already been through that. You've already decorated your home with these things, and you don't want to do it again. It's kind of how I feel about this. I love seeing these girls get excited to decorate their home with these geese and ducks and all of this, but I wouldn't decorate my home with it. But I am here for it. I'm here for your journey, and I'm loving every second of it. Well, that was fun, or I thought it was fun. David probably didn't think it was fun. They were having their 5th anniversary celebration, so they had live music, they had free hot dogs, they had 10% off a bunch of the booths. What else did they have? They had a raffle. We entered the raffle, a bunch of baskets, and was it $100 shopping spree or something like that? So congratulations on your 5th anniversary to Antique to Chic. I like this place because there's more than just one mid-century booth. There's a few of them. There's a handful of them, and you can always tell the mid-century booths because I'm taking forever looking through them and taking footage and everything, and David's sitting there waiting on me because he looks fast and he's ready to go to the next, and I just want to roam and take in everything. So we're going to the Foundry next, hopefully, Lord's willing, and we make it there without too much traffic. That's our next stop, and then it's 12 o'clock, so then we're gonna head over to New Bern. Next stop is the Foundry. I don't know how much footage I'm gonna be able to take in here because my battery is getting kind of low. I found so much at the last place that I ran my battery out, so it'll have a chance to charge between here and New Bern. But we're just gonna pop in here for a minute. So sadly, I did not find a whole lot to film for you in the Foundry. It's a little different than it was the last time I came. There are a few pieces that are considered vintage or antique, but it's like 90% flea market pieces. When I say new, not new as in brand new off the shelf, but new as in modern. So I really didn't get a lot of footage for you. I did like this little owl, and they had it marked very reasonable at $7.50, and it is a music box. All right, so we just left the Foundry. I did not get a lot of footage in there. It's more like a flea market type scenario.
Starting route to New Bern.
To New Bern. We're going to New Bern.
To Belfort Road, then turn left.
He has his British Siri. What is she? Is she Siri? She tells us to pull into the car park. Anyway.
Turn left onto Belfort Road.
There's a guy getting ready to hit us. It's more of a flea market type situation. We have been in there and seen mid-century vendors before, but I think they're gone now. I didn't see anything, but I did buy one thing at a really good price. I'll share all that with you later. What else was I going to say about it? It kind of looks like it might have been a storage unit type situation place that they've turned into an antique mall. I wouldn't call it an antique mall. I'd call it a vendor mall. How about that? All right. I can't talk to you because British Siri is interrupting me. So I will see you when we get into our next destination. So we just rolled up into downtown New Bern, and I was filming. We're in front of Franklin's Antique Store, and I was filming walking up to the store, and I had got the bright idea that I was going to give you a little history lesson on New Bern, but because I was walking to Franklin's Antique Store, I was calling the town of New Bern Franklin the whole time. So I thought, well, let me just start over, and let me tell you what I learned about New Bern. I learned a lot, actually. I did some chat GPTing on the way there so that I would have a little bit of history for you guys. But New Bern is the second oldest town in North Carolina. It was founded in 1710. Now that's pretty old for the United States because we're a fairly young country. We don't have all of the old castles and all of that like you guys do in the United Kingdom. So something that was founded in 1710 is probably about as old as we're going to get. Actually, Bath, North Carolina was founded in 1705. So that is the #1 oldest town. But Franklin Antiques is a very nice upscale antique store. Their prices are a little on the high side, so I don't typically get a lot when I go, but David made friends with one of the owners. I think maybe he's married to the owner, and he gets some of his live edge wood from him, so we always try to go and support their business because David made friends with him, and It's just a nice little antique store. They've done some changing in there since we've been, and they've got like a little bar. I wanted to show you this. So one of David's favorite shows ever is the Andy Griffith Show, and I was noticing that this is a comedy album of his, and it's got the Romeo and Juliet story. So if you've ever seen the episode of Andy Griffith when he's telling Opie about Romeo and Juliet, and he's saying, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou? And he says, well, I'm right here. It just cracks us up every single time. That is just our favorite episode. They had some risque lingerie in here. I had to share that because I thought, they've got it decorated so pretty in this booth, and then they've got some vintage lingerie ads framed along the walls, and I just thought it was so neat, so I wanted to share that with you. But Franklin's is very upscale, very nice. If you're ever in the area, make sure you stop and check out their sweet little antique store. Cute. This actually was a sale rack. I think it said $8 for that. But this is the little bar that they have added. If you see that live edge wood, that's some of the wood that the owner's son-in-law has, and he has his own little store just down the road. We were gonna stop in, but we got a little turned around and ran out of time, so we didn't get to go in and see him, but I thought these little napkins were cute. New Bern is also big on bears, so as you walk downtown, you're going to see lots of bears. I will try to show you some if I can. I'll get as many shots as I can, but it's really hot and we're trying to walk as few steps as possible. But it's like their little mascot that they have. There's one there, but there's some really cute ones. Like the stores buy them and then they put them in front of their stores, and they're dressed according to what kind of store it is. Like there was a dentist office and they had a bear dressed like a dentist. I'll try to get a shot of it if I go back by there. Okay, so we found the place to eat, and it's called Morgan's Tavern. So we've eaten there before. We're gonna come back today. It's just up the street here. It's right here, Morgan's Tavern and Grill. Look at the moss on the tree at this Episcopal church over here. It's so pretty. And David and I are trying to find the Pepsi store. So another fun fact is that Pepsi was invented in New Bern by a pharmacist who made the ingredients and made Pepsi. So they have a little store here where you can get Pepsi in a bottle, and he's been craving a Pepsi, so we're gonna go find him one. Yep, this is it. I think they have ice cream in there too. You're supposed to put peanuts in your Pepsi, David. You don't know how to do it. The birthplace of Pepsi. The name of the inventor of Pepsi was Bradham. So they called it Brad's Drink. And then I guess when he sold it, they changed it to Pepsi. This is funny. Drink Mountain Dew. It'll tickle your innards. That's funny. David said he would put peanuts in his Pepsi, but he just ate, so he's not hungry. So if you hear him belch, it's because he doesn't drink Pepsi or any soda. His carbonation's getting to him. He drinks water and milk. That's all he drinks ever. And coffee, he said, and coffee. So if you hear him, excuse him. I was just getting ready to hit record. Oh my goodness. You missed it by a quarter of a second. Pepsi. So we're gonna head home. It's just too hot. We're done. There's a couple more places that we could go to. I don't know why we always choose to come to this place in the dead center of summertime, because it seems like when we do come, we're miserable. That light's green. So we're gonna head on home. Plus we have to get home to Barbara. So anyway, a lot of you asked me why we named our dog Barbara. David named her Barbara, and he said, so if we're in like a social setting and he's just ready to go, he's gonna say, we got to go get Barbara her medicine. And that way nobody would ever question, you know, why we had to leave so early. But we got to get home to Barbara, and I got a little teeny tiny haul, nothing big, nothing elaborate, but I will share that with you probably tomorrow. Maybe after church I'll go in my craft room and I'll share it with you, but it's nothing big. But we had a good time today, and it's a fun town to come to. It's just a little hot right now to be walking around, but we do love it, and there's lots of historical things to look at, lots of interesting old houses to look at for sure. The houses all have the plaques on them with the dates on them. I mean, like I said, the town was founded in 1710. It's pretty old, and it's pretty interesting to look at all of the houses. So anyway, I'm gonna say goodbye for now. I'll pop back in tomorrow and I'll share my haul with you. Okay, as promised, it's Sunday afternoon. We're in our PJs. We've gone to church, we've had lunch, and we're just kind of sitting around the house. And I thought I'd pop in here real quick and do a haul for you and show you what David and I got yesterday. So the biggest thing that I got, I didn't even take footage of, and it's not for me. This is the very first Christmas present that I purchased for 2025, and I could not be more excited. I told you guys that my sister-in-law collects Currier and Ives, and of course she's got all the typical blue and white dishes. She's got every single thing that they could possibly have made because her collection is so big. But I don't think I've ever seen this, and I have trained my eyes to find Currier and Ives when we go out thrifting and antiquing, and I saw it and I was like, David, come here, come here. So look at this. If you're a Currier and Ives collector, tell me if this is a big deal, if this is a hard to find type of gift. It was only $29, and as you can see, it was in the original box. They're canisters. Now, a little secret about my sister-in-law, she is getting ready to build her dream home, and they're just getting started. So I think this is going to go beautifully in her new kitchen. I'm hoping that her new house has a big, what do you call it, plate rack, so that she can display all of these Currier and Ives dishes that she has so lovingly collected over the last few years. But this is what the canisters look like. I think she is going to absolutely flip out when she sees them, and I've never seen these before. I feel like this is something special, and I think she's going to just absolutely just love it. So there's 4 sizes, as you saw on the front of the box. I'll just pick up the smallest one. Each one is just a little different. Let's see. This one is called the Road during winter. I think they're all winter scenes from what I can tell, but let's see. Hermetic is written on the top. I don't know. I just think they're beautiful, and I was excited to find them, and I'm going to take them and put them up for her Christmas gift if I can wait that long, because I'm more excited than probably anybody that I was able to find those for her. And then I got 2 things for myself. The first thing I got were these little mouse salt and pepper shakers. They're eating their cheese, and these were, no, hold on a minute. The canisters were 10% off. because of the booth that I got them out of. So they were $29 with $2.90 off. These were not on sale, I don't think, but I still love them, and they were only like $8-9. I can't remember. They were less than $10, so I did get those to add to my little salt and pepper shaker collection. And then I saw this, and it was only $7 and some change, and I just thought it was cute. This came from the second place that we went, the Foundry. I didn't find much in there. I don't know that I'm going to go back there again. It has really changed a lot. Before there was 1 or 2 mid-century booths in there, but now this last time it's just all flea market stuff. It's all new stuff. There was a tiny little bit of vintage and antique, but not a lot at all. So I'm probably not going to stop there on our next trip to Jacksonville, but I will absolutely go back to chic to antique to chic. If I did, that might be backwards. I don't know. Anyways, great stop if you're in the area. So that's my haul. That's all that I have for you. I'm going to end this video, and I'm going to say my goodbyes. And as always, thank you guys for taking a few minutes of your day to spend with me. It means the whole world. Until next time, I love you all, and I'll see you later. Bye.